The galaxy had always whispered about him. Not like a hero, not like a savior, but like a shadow that had once crossed stars and left planets trembling. His name was spoken carefully, almost in fear, across council chambers and trading hubs alike. For a time, he had fought humans, and the tales of his victories were told like legends. Now, he was back, but not for revenge. This time, his warnings were what terrified the Galactic Council. In the dark reaches beyond the Orion expanse, Captain Kale stared out of the cockpit window of the starship Valor. Stars streaked past as if the universe itself was in a hurry, but Kale's eyes were fixed on a single point far ahead, a system that should have been empty. Reports said it was abandoned, but Kale had a feeling. That gut instinct, honed over decades of battles and betrayals, whispered that something far worse than war was waiting. He tapped the console, bringing up the holographic display. Red markers blinked. Planets, satellites, and debris littered the screen. This isn't just a dead system, he muttered to himself. It's a warning. Kale's crew, a group of hardened humans and aliens, sensed the tension. They had faced unknown horrors together before, but something about this mission felt different. Even Jara, the ship's AI with the personality of a calm philosopher, seemed uneasy. "Captain, sensors are picking up an energy spike," she said, her voice soft but edged with urgency. "It is not natural. It is old, very old." Kale's hand hovered over the controls. Memories flashed of the last time he had encountered humanity in war, how every battle had tested his limits, how the humans had survived impossible odds. And now, he was seeing echoes of that same force in the readings before him. A shiver ran down his spine. "Set course for the central planet," Kale ordered. "Slow approach. We don't want to announce our presence yet." The ship hummed as it adjusted its trajectory. Outside, the stars seemed to dim as if the darkness itself was pulling closer. The crew whispered among themselves, sharing old rumors and fears. Stories of the human specter circulated in hushed tones in every corner of the galaxy, tales of a fighter who had once led humans to victories no one thought possible. Now, Kale wasn't here to fight humans. He was here because the humans, or something left behind by them, were about to change everything. Hours passed, and the system grew clearer on the scanners. The central planet, a jagged, storm-racked world, emerged from the haze. At first, it looked dead. The surface glimmered with frozen oceans and blackened mountains, completely lifeless. But Kale knew better. Something stirred beneath that icy surface. "Captain," Jara interrupted, breaking his thoughts. "I am detecting a structure. Massive. It is ancient. Coordinates confirm it is not natural. It is engineered." Kale's eyes narrowed. "Engineered? By whom?" "That is unclear," Jara replied. "It predates known human expansion, but the design patterns are reminiscent." Kale leaned closer. Memories of the old battles and legends of human ingenuity surged through him. Humans had a way of leaving traps, of leaving reminders of their power, even in their absence. And Kale feared that what lay ahead was more than a trap, it was a message. A warning. "Prepare the landing team," Kale said, his voice firm but controlled. "I want to know what we are dealing with before anyone else gets involved." As the shuttle detached from the Valor, the surface below came into focus. Towering structures rose from the ice, monolithic and unbroken by time. Symbols etched into their sides glowed faintly, pulsating with an energy Kale hadn't seen in decades. The crew fell silent, staring at what seemed almost alive. This is impossible," whispered Rin, the weapons specialist, her voice trembling. "How could this have survived untouched for thousands of years?" Kale didn't answer immediately. He only stared at the glowing symbols. Then, a low vibration pulsed through the shuttle. Lights flickered. Instruments beeped erratically. "Something is waking," Jara said, her voice tight. "Captain, I believe it knows we are here." Kale felt his stomach tighten. This was no ordinary mission. It was a test, one humans had prepared long ago, leaving behind warnings for anyone who dared to interfere. And now, centuries later, Kale and his crew had walked right into the beginning of a reckoning they couldn't yet understand. He swallowed hard. Hold position. Observe everything. And remember, one wrong move, and it won't just be us in danger. The whole galaxy could feel the consequences. The shuttle hovered above the structure, its massive shadow stretching across the ice like a giant hand reaching out. And then, from deep within the planet, a pulse of light shot upward, bright enough to pierce the atmosphere, bright enough to warn the stars themselves. Kale gritted his teeth. "So it begins," he said, as the hum of the structure grew louder, resonating through the hull of the shuttle. The warnings had begun, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. The pulse of light faded slowly, but its effect lingered. Kale's shuttle trembled, not from turbulence, but from the sheer power beneath the ice. The crew exchanged nervous glances. No one spoke. Words felt small against the enormity of what they were witnessing. "This energy, it's immense," Rin whispered. "Whatever is down there, it's awake now. And it's huge." Kale nodded, his jaw tight. "Keep your scanners running. I want every reading, every vibration, every anomaly noted. If this thing was made by humans, it's more dangerous than we imagined." The shuttle descended slowly, approaching the structure. From above, it looked like a jagged fortress, dark and cold. But closer inspection revealed details that made the crew uneasy. Massive doors, engraved with symbols that seemed almost alive, and faint blue lights pulsing like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Jara's voice broke the tense silence. "Captain, the doors are opening." Kale's eyes narrowed. "Open, on their own?" "Yes," Jara replied. "I am detecting no external force. It is as if the structure knows we are here, and it has decided to respond." The shuttle hovered near the entrance. A low hum filled the cabin, resonating through their bodies. The lights on the walls of the structure intensified, casting strange shadows that danced like spirits across the ice. The crew gripped their seats. "This is alive," Rin murmured. "Not alive like an organism, but alive like it has a mind. And it's aware of us." Kale swallowed hard. "All right. We move in carefully. 2 by 2. And remember, do not touch anything unless I give the order." The crew disembarked, weapons at the ready, eyes scanning every inch of the glowing doors. As they approached, the symbols on the walls pulsed faster, as if reacting to their presence. A chill ran down Kale's spine. He had faced humans in battle, yes, but this was different. This was human ingenuity at its most terrifying. "Captain," Jara said, her voice tense, "I am detecting a chamber beyond the doors. It contains a starship. But it's unlike anything in known databases. It is ancient, but its design, it is ahead of our time. Way ahead." Kale's heart raced. He had seen advanced human technology before, but this was beyond imagination. The legends had always spoken of hidden weapons, superships built to defend humanity in secret. But none had survived for centuries, or had they just been waiting? He stepped closer to the doors. They were enormous, dwarfing the crew. As Kale reached out, the symbols flared brightly. The doors opened completely, revealing a cavernous space within. And inside, bathed in blue light, lay a starship. It was massive, sleek, and menacing. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal, and faint energy currents ran across it like veins. The crew froze. No one dared speak. The starship looked alive, ready to move, ready to destroy, or to protect. "Impossible," Rin breathed. How can something like this exist? Who built it?" Kale stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the ship. "Humans did. They left it here for a reason, as a warning, or maybe a weapon." Jara's voice was quiet now, almost fearful. "Captain, it's activating. Systems are powering on. This ship, it wants something." Before Kale could respond, a holographic figure appeared in front of them. It was human, but unlike any human alive today. Its face was calm, eyes piercing, and its voice echoed in the cavern. "Those who enter," the figure said, "you have awakened what was meant to remain hidden. Humanity does not forgive, and humanity does not forget. Prepare yourselves." The crew instinctively raised their weapons, but the hologram didn't flinch. It continued, "This ship carries the legacy of Earth's greatest warriors. Those who built it fought once to defend their home, and they left this as a sentinel, to ensure the galaxy never forgets. You are now part of this reckoning." Kale felt a shiver run down his spine. He had fought humans before, yes, but now, centuries later, he understood why the galaxy feared them. It was not their numbers, not their technology alone. It was the mind, the planning, and the hidden power that could awaken at any time. "Captain," Rin whispered, her voice tight, "what do we do? Do we leave it? Or do we take control?" Kale didn't answer immediately. He stared at the hologram, at the ship, at the pulsing blue energy that seemed to reach for them. This was bigger than a mission, bigger than the Galactic Council's politics. This was a turning point, one that could decide the fate of entire star systems. He took a deep breath. "We proceed," he said finally. "But carefully. This is not just a ship. It's a warning. And if we misstep, the galaxy will pay the price." As the crew moved forward, the doors closed behind them, sealing them in with the ancient human starship. The hum of the engines grew louder. Lights flared. And somewhere deep inside, the ship seemed to awaken fully, ready for a mission that had waited centuries to begin. Outside, in the dark void of the system, distant sensors detected the energy pulse expanding, touching nearby planets. Somewhere, far away, the Galactic Council received reports and paled. Whatever Kale and his crew had found, it was something they could not yet understand. And the humans who had built it were long gone. But their legacy had just awoken. The air inside the cavern was thick, almost heavy with anticipation. Every footstep of Kale and his crew echoed like a drumbeat against the icy walls. The ancient starship loomed before them, its surface shimmering with faint blue energy pulses. It was alive, or at least, it acted as if it were. Kale reached out and touched the hull. A wave of energy ran through him, not painful, but powerful, like the ship was testing him, measuring his intent. He stepped back, heart pounding. "It knows we are here," he whispered. Rin, standing beside him, swallowed hard. "It feels aware. Almost like it can read our thoughts." Jara's holographic interface flickered. "Captain, I am detecting multiple active systems inside. Shields, propulsion, weaponry. Even the life support seems ready for a crew. Whoever built this, they did not want it to stay dormant forever. They intended for it to awaken at a specific moment. And that moment seems to have arrived." Kale's mind raced. The ship wasn't just a relic. It was a weapon. A sentinel. And the humans who had made it had clearly intended it to remain hidden until someone worthy, or foolish enough, entered its domain. "Prepare for entry," Kale ordered. 2 by 2. Stay close. And do not touch anything without my command. The crew nodded, though unease was written across every face. They activated the shuttle's landing tethers and moved carefully across the icy surface. The massive doors of the ship slowly parted with a resonating hum, revealing an interior that seemed impossibly vast. The walls were smooth, metallic, and alive with faint streams of energy that flowed like veins. Lights pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat. The entire ship seemed to breathe. Kale felt a shiver run down his spine. "This is incredible," Rin said, voice barely audible. "It's perfect. And deadly." They stepped inside. The interior was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, each glowing faintly with the ship's energy. Holographic interfaces floated in midair, displaying data that none of them fully understood. Ancient runes and symbols, unmistakably human, were etched into every surface. "Captain," Jara said, her voice tense. "The main control room is ahead. Systems indicate it is operational. If we attempt to access it, the ship will respond." Kale nodded. "Then we proceed cautiously. Let's see what humanity left behind. As they approached the control room, the lights intensified, bathing them in a soft blue glow. The hum of the ship grew louder, almost like it was welcoming them, or challenging them. Kale reached for the door handle. Before his hand could touch it, a holographic figure appeared. It was human, dressed in an ancient uniform, face calm but eyes sharp. "You are here," the figure said. "It has been long since any have walked these halls. Know this ship was created to protect, to defend and to judge. Its purpose is tied to the legacy of humanity. And you have awakened it." Kale's voice was steady but cautious. "We mean no harm. We only want to understand." The hologram tilted its head, as if studying him. "Understanding comes with responsibility. Those who enter here must face the consequences of awakening what was meant to stay hidden. Humans fought once to secure the galaxy. They left this as a sentinel to ensure no one could misuse what they had built. You are now part of that reckoning." A low vibration ran through the floor. Lights flickered, then surged. The ship seemed to respond, its energy flowing toward the control room. The crew stepped back instinctively, but Kale held his ground. "What do we do?" Rin whispered, gripping her weapon. "If this is a weapon, we can't control it. Can we?" Kale shook his head slowly. "Not yet. But we can observe. We can learn. And we can survive, if we act carefully." The hologram extended a hand. A panel slid open in front of them, revealing a holographic map of the galaxy. Points of light blinked rapidly, connected by lines of energy. Kale leaned closer. "These are human strongholds," Jara said. "Or at least they were. The lines indicate connections, communications, power flows, almost like the ship was part of a network. And the pulse we saw outside? It reached all of these points." Kale felt a cold realization. The humans hadn't just built a starship. They had created a system, a network of hidden power that could strike anywhere in the galaxy if awakened. And now, they had triggered it. "Prepare for rapid deployment," Kale ordered. "We need to understand this network before anyone else does. The Council, or worse, will want to know what we found. And we don't have time for mistakes." As they moved deeper into the control room, lights pulsed faster, and the ship seemed to hum louder, almost like a warning. Somewhere deep inside, systems activated fully. Doors closed behind them, sealing the chamber. The crew was alone with the ancient human sentinel, a machine built not just for war, but for judgment. Outside, in the vast void, sensors across nearby systems detected new energy signatures. Something had awakened. And the galaxy had no idea that humanity's legacy, long thought gone, was coming alive again. Kale took a deep breath. "This is bigger than any of us imagined. We've just begun, and already, the universe is starting to change." The control room buzzed with energy, a rhythm that seemed almost alive. Kale and his crew stood in awe, absorbing every detail. The holographic map of the galaxy flickered constantly, revealing points of light that connected across vast distances. The humans who had built the ship were not just engineers, they were strategists, architects of power that could span centuries. Kale stepped closer to the holographic interface. "We need to understand what these points mean," he said. "How many are active? And what happens if they're triggered?" Jara's interface glowed brighter. "Captain, the energy we saw outside the planet was a warning pulse. It was not random. Each point on this map corresponds to a hidden human installation. And now, they are responding to our presence." Rin's eyes widened. "Responding? How? We haven't even touched anything yet." Kale's gaze remained fixed on the holographic network. "That's the point. This ship doesn't just sit idle. It communicates with its network automatically. Humans built it to react to intrusion, to awaken at the right time. And we've crossed the threshold." Suddenly, the floor beneath them trembled. Lights flickered, and the hum of the ship intensified. The crew froze. Outside, a pulse of energy surged through the icy cavern, making the walls shake. The starship wasn't just awake, it was alive, aware, and preparing for action. Jara's voice was sharp. Captain, energy readings indicate that defensive systems are activating across multiple human installations in this sector. This is not a threat to us, yet. But it could be soon. Whoever designed this, planned for a response that spans the galaxy. Kale clenched his fists. Then we move carefully. No sudden actions. Observe, learn, and survive. We're in the middle of a legacy that even the Council can't control. The crew began exploring the control room, guided by Jara's interface. Panels lit up as they approached, displaying information about energy reserves, propulsion systems, and weapon capacities. The ship's design was sleek and terrifying, combining elegance with overwhelming power. Kale could feel the intelligence behind it, every system anticipating his moves, almost as if it were alive. "Captain," Rin said, pointing to a holographic readout, "this ship, it's not just a weapon. It's a fleet in one. Its systems can project force across light years, control multiple installations, and even manipulate other ships. Whoever built this, humans were never meant to be underestimated." Kale nodded grimly. "I know. And we need to make sure we don't trigger anything that we can't control." Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the chamber. Red lights flashed. Jara's voice was urgent. "Captain, unknown signatures approaching the system. Vessels of unknown origin are entering at high speed. They are armed, and they are scanning for this ship." The crew stiffened. Kale's mind raced. Who could they be? And how did they find us? Jara's holographic interface flickered, showing multiple warships converging on the system. Unknown species. Their technology is advanced, but not human. They may have detected the pulse we sent when we entered the cavern. They could be pirates, mercenaries, or worse, galactic enforcers sent by the Council. Kale's expression hardened. "We don't have time for hesitation. Prepare defensive positions. If anyone tries to approach, we need to be ready. This ship, it's our only advantage." Rin checked her weapon systems, while other crew members secured critical stations. The air was thick with tension, every second stretching longer than the last. The sound of the ship's hum seemed to synchronize with Kale's heartbeat, a reminder that they were now part of something far bigger than themselves. The holographic figure of the ancient human commander appeared again. Its voice was calm, almost cold. "You have awakened the Sentinel. Those who approach will feel the consequences. Humans built this to protect, to strike fear, and to ensure survival. You are now its temporary keepers. Use it wisely, or perish." Kale swallowed. "We don't intend to misuse it," he said. "We need to defend it, and ourselves." Outside, the incoming vessels appeared on the holographic display. Shadows of alien warships stretched across space, their shapes unfamiliar but deadly. Kale felt a surge of determination. This was no longer just a mission. This was the beginning of a battle that could decide the fate of the system, and perhaps the galaxy. He turned to his crew. "Listen up. This ship is more than metal and circuits. It's a human legacy, and it's alive. Follow my lead. We defend, we observe, and we survive. Everything else depends on what happens next." The crew nodded, tension and resolve mixing in their eyes. Outside, the first signals of conflict were already forming. The galaxy was watching, unaware that the humans' long-hidden legacy had awakened. And inside the cavern, the starship pulsed, alive and ready, waiting for the moment when it would strike, or protect. Kale took a deep breath, gripping the control panel. "Then let's see who dares challenge humanity's warning." The calm before the storm shattered like glass. Outside the cavern, sensors detected the first alien warships accelerating toward the system. Kale's crew braced themselves as the ancient starship seemed to hum louder, almost like it could sense the approaching threat. Every pulse of blue light along its hull felt like a heartbeat, strong, purposeful, and ready for battle. They're closing in fast, Rin said, gripping her weapon tightly. If they reach the surface before we're ready, we're finished. Kale's eyes never left the holographic display. We have one advantage, he said. This ship isn't theirs to fight against. It's ours. We follow its lead, and we survive. We hesitate, and we die. Jara's holographic interface flickered urgently. Captain, defensive shields are online. Energy levels indicate the ship can project force far beyond this system. But there's a limit. Overuse could destabilize the core. Kale nodded. Understood. We'll make our move count. Rin, ready the forward cannons. Everyone else, monitor energy fluctuations and shields. We hit them before they know what's happening. The alien fleet advanced relentlessly, their weapons scanning for the energy source that had awakened the human starship. Outside, streaks of light marked the trajectory of their approach, and Kale could feel the tension in the crew tighten like a coil. Then, the starship responded. Its hull pulsed with energy, blue light streaming like lightning across its surface. Doors opened along the sides, revealing smaller craft, drones, and weapon systems that had been dormant for centuries. Kale felt a surge of awe and fear. Humans had built this not just as a ship, but as a fortress, a sentinel, and a weapon all in one. Captain, Jara said, they're targeting the satellites. They've detected our presence fully. If we delay any longer, they'll attack directly. Kale's jaw tightened. Then we strike. All stations, fire when ready. The first blasts erupted. Energy beams from the ancient starship streaked outward, hitting the lead alien ship before it could react. Explosions blossomed in the void, lighting up space with bright flashes. The aliens faltered, surprised by the speed and power of the assault. Kale felt a thrill, part fear, part exhilaration. Keep it tight, he shouted. Focus on defense, then counterattack. We control the fight. The ship responded almost instinctively, its systems deploying automated defenses, energy shields, and drones. Beams of blue light cut through the void, slicing the enemy ships with surgical precision. Each strike was perfectly calculated, almost as if the ship itself had decades of battle experience. Rin laughed, a short, incredulous sound. This is insane. They've never seen anything like this. Kale didn't smile. His eyes tracked the incoming fleet. They'll learn fast. But we need to finish this before reinforcements arrive. The aliens regrouped, firing volleys of missiles and energy blasts. The hull of the human starship absorbed some, deflected others, and redirected beams back with devastating effect. One by one, the alien ships were torn apart, their formations collapsing under the overwhelming power of the human sentinel. Captain, Jara said, I'm detecting incoming energy from the core. The ship is preparing a primary weapon. If fired, it could obliterate the entire enemy fleet, but also risk the planet's surface. Kale weighed the risk. The choice was clear. Do it, he said. We cannot let them survive. The galaxy must remember why humans were feared. Fire. The starship pulsed brighter than ever. A beam of pure energy shot across space, engulfing the remaining alien ships in a searing light. Explosions tore through the void, and silence followed. The fleet was gone. Nothing remained but drifting debris, and a stunned, awed crew staring at the aftermath. Rin whispered, They didn't stand a chance. Kale remained silent for a moment, watching the pulse of light fade. Then he turned to his crew. This was only the beginning. We've shown what humans left behind. But the galaxy is larger than this system. And whatever comes next, they'll remember us. Outside, the ice of the planet reflected the blue glow of the starship, standing tall and alive amidst the void. Kale knew the message had been sent. Humans had once fought, humans had left their mark, and humans were not to be underestimated. Jara's voice broke the silence. Captain, sensors indicate multiple signals responding to our energy pulse. Other installations are awakening. Kale's eyes narrowed. Then we prepare. This fight is far from over. Humanity's warning has begun, and the galaxy will feel it. The remnants of the alien fleet drifted silently in space, their twisted metal glowing faintly under the light of the human starship. The crew of the Veiler stood in the control room, still catching their breath. The battle had been swift, brutal, and decisive, but Kale knew this was only the beginning. "Captain," Rin said, voice tense. "That pulse, it's spreading. Sensors show that other human installations across the sector are activating. They're all responding to the starship. We've triggered something massive." Kale's eyes narrowed. "I know. We've just awakened a network that has slept for centuries. The galaxy isn't ready for what's coming. And neither are we." Jara's holographic interface flickered. "Captain, energy signatures indicate synchronization between this starship and at least 3 distant installations. Their systems are coordinating. This network, it is forming a defensive perimeter. Whoever approaches now will face overwhelming power." Kale rubbed his temples. "We've done more than defend ourselves. We've sent a warning. The galaxy will remember humanity's legacy, and some will come to test it." Outside the cavern, the icy landscape reflected the pulsing light from the starship. Kale could feel the energy through the floor, through the walls, through his very bones. It was alive, immense, and patient. It was waiting. "Captain," Rin said quietly, "if this ship can activate the others, and those others can activate more, we could be facing a chain reaction across the galaxy. Entire fleets could be destroyed before anyone even realizes what's happening." Kale's jaw tightened. "That's why we must control it. Every decision counts now. One mistake, and the galaxy could burn before the Council even reacts." The holographic figure of the ancient human commander appeared again. Its presence was calm, almost regal. "You have awakened the Sentinel network," it said. "The galaxy will feel the consequences. Those who seek to challenge humanity will regret it. But heed this warning: power without wisdom destroys itself. Choose your path carefully." Kale swallowed. "We understand. We'll guide it. We'll protect it. And we'll make sure no one misuses it." Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the control room. Jara's voice was urgent. "Captain, unknown ships are approaching at high speed. Unlike the First Fleet, they're larger, faster, and heavily armed. They're targeting the system. They know something is here, something powerful." Kale felt the familiar rush of adrenaline, tempered with unease. "Everyone, battle stations. This is no longer just a test. The galaxy is sending its best, or its worst. And we must survive." Rin checked the weapon systems. "Captain, we can't take them all head-on. We need the starship to decide the strategy. It's smarter than any fleet commander we've faced." Kale nodded. "Let it lead. We follow. And stay sharp, this is where humans' reputation becomes legend." The alien ships approached quickly, scanning for weak points. The human starship responded almost instantly. Energy shields flared, weapon systems activated, and smaller craft launched from hidden bays. The blue glow of the hull intensified, casting a surreal light across the cavern and the ice outside. Kale watched as the holographic map pulsed, showing multiple points lighting up across the galaxy. The chain reaction had begun. Humanity's network was waking. Entire star systems were responding to the ancient call. Rin whispered, awe and fear in her voice. "Captain, it's beautiful and terrifying." Kale's expression was grim. "Beautiful for us. Terrifying for anyone who dares threaten humans." The enemy ships unleashed volleys of missiles and energy blasts, but the starship responded with precision and overwhelming power. Beams of blue energy cut through the void, dismantling the first wave of attackers. Automated drones intercepted the next. Shields held strong. The crew realized the ship's AI, or consciousness, was coordinating perfectly with every weapon, every defense, every system. And then, from the holographic map, distant signals began to converge. Other installations, long dormant, were powering up. Entire fleets, hidden for centuries, were awakening. Cale felt a chill run down his spine. Humanity had not left the galaxy defenseless. They had left guardians. "Captain," Jara said, her voice trembling, "this is bigger than we imagined. If the network continues activating, we could face the entire legacy fleet." Fully awake, Cale's eyes burned with determination. "Then we prepare. This is our fight, our test. If the galaxy wants to challenge humans, they will see what legacy really means." As the alien ships closed in, the human starship pulsed brighter than ever, energy radiating outward, signaling the awakening of countless ancient installations. The cavern shook with power, the ice outside cracking under the force. The galaxy had been warned. And now, it would watch as humanity's most dangerous legacy came alive. Cale clenched his fists. The reckoning has begun, and no one will escape its reach. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Across vast distances, ancient human installations glowed like stars awakening from a long slumber. The network was alive, connected, and pulsing with the power of a civilization thought to be gone. Cale and his crew stood in the control room, hearts pounding, knowing this was the moment history would remember. "Captain," Rin said, her voice tight, "they're coming faster now. Multiple fleets. They must know what's happening, and they want to stop it." Cale's eyes never left the holographic display. "Let them come. Humanity left these systems for a reason. Anyone who dares challenge humans will feel our reach, and our power." Outside, alien warships accelerated, weapons ready, scanning for the starship. But what they didn't know was that the humans' legacy had already anticipated them. From the depths of the icy planet, energy surged as the starship communicated with the other installations. Each pulse synchronized, forming a defensive and offensive web that spanned light years. Jara's voice trembled with awe. "Captain, this network, it's massive. Entire fleets could be obliterated before they even fire a shot. Humans built this for war we can't even imagine." Cale clenched his fists. "Then we let it decide. Follow the ship. Trust its systems. We fight if we must, but the galaxy needs to see, humanity is never gone." The alien ships opened fire, energy blasts streaking across space toward the starship. Blue shields flared, absorbing the impact, and beams of energy shot back, slicing through the enemy formations with precision. Drones and automated fighters launched from hidden bays, engaging the enemy in perfect coordination. One by one, the alien ships were destroyed, disintegrated, or torn apart by the ancient human weaponry. The crew watched, awestruck, as the power of centuries past revealed itself in moments. Then came a pulse from a distant system, a signal from another human installation awakening. Entire hidden fleets, dormant for thousands of years, activated simultaneously. Their energy rippled across the galaxy, a warning, a message, a declaration. Humanity had returned, not with soldiers, not with diplomats, but with a legacy too dangerous to ignore. Rin whispered, fear and wonder in her voice. They won't survive. Nobody stands against this." Cale nodded. "No. And they won't. This is the power humans left behind. The galaxy thought we were gone. They thought we could be challenged. Now, they will remember." The alien fleets tried to retreat, but the network anticipated every move. Energy beams cut off escape routes, and drones intercepted fleeing ships. Systems Cale couldn't even comprehend managed the battle with flawless efficiency. The human starship pulsed, alive and aware, coordinating, defending, striking, like a predator awakened after centuries of patience. Jara's holographic interface projected the full scale of the awakening. "Captain, all installations are now active. The network is fully operational. The galaxy has no defenses against this. No one can stop it." Cale's face was calm, but inside he felt the weight of responsibility. "This is humanity's warning," he said quietly. "We didn't fight for conquest. We fight so the galaxy knows our legacy. We fight so no one ever underestimates humans again. Energy pulses spread farther, touching distant systems, sending a wave of fear and awe across the stars. Messages reached the Galactic Council, traitors and warlords alike. Humans were not extinct, humans were not weak, and humans had left a legacy that could not be ignored. In the icy cavern, the starship's glow softened slightly, almost like it was satisfied. Kale's crew stared at it, silent. The battle was over, but the consequences would echo for centuries. Rin broke the silence. "Captain, did we just awaken a war we can't control?" Kale shook his head. "Not a war. A warning. Humans fought once, and we left behind proof of our power. Now, anyone who dares challenge the galaxy knows the cost. The message has been delivered. Humanity is never gone." The alien ships that survived fled in terror. Across the galaxy, systems felt the pulse of human legacy, and whispers spread like wildfire. The humans had returned, and they had weapons beyond imagination. Kale turned to his crew, pride and gravity in his eyes. "We are the witnesses. Humanity's power is alive. And the galaxy will never forget." Outside, the icy planet reflected the faint blue glow of the starship. The pulses of energy continued, distant installations now fully awake. Humanity's legacy, long buried and forgotten, had returned, not with armies, but with a presence that would shape the fate of the galaxy for generations. Kale took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history. This is only the beginning," he said. And as the starship hummed, alive with purpose, the crew realized one thing clearly: the galaxy would never be the same again.